In a short stretch of time from the mid-90s to the early 2000s, a relatively small group of people started playing around with this thing called the World Wide Web. They had the audacity to think they just might change the world. This project introduces you to the OG players from those hallowed days and lets them tell you what it was like and how you should have been there. Episode 19. We're talking today with Mylena Christina. We're going to have to talk about that name, but she was VP of Biz Dev for us at agency.com, running out of the Chicagoland office. Ritesh!
Yo, what's up?
Happy Friday.
Look at this. We're back at it again.
Are you growing a rally beard? What's going on here?
Yeah, this has been a week from hell, so I decided, you know what?
No.
Forget bathing or shaving or any of that stuff. Just spray some stuff on like they used to do in the 1800s and hope for the best.
Yeah, no one can tell you on a Zoom call.
Exactly. And here's, my tweet of the day today was the corporate IT folks in their wisdom at WPP have decided to get rid of Zoom at WPP and all the operating companies. Yes, we're going to move to a crappier platform rather than a better one.
Well, at least people will be confused for a year before you reverse the decision.
Exactly. So, how's your day? Good week?
Yeah, things are good. Similar, like busy, crazy week. Yeah. And, but we're here. Like, this is always the breath of fresh air for our weeks, I feel.
I absolutely look forward to it. And I know today I skated it at 11:57, I think, or something.
I know. I was like, is anybody coming to the party today?
This is going to be great. I love Mylena. I think she's amazing, and it's going to be great to catch up with her.
Yeah, she's awesome. Before we bring her on, let's do our little housekeeping stuff. Check out youshoulda.com if you want to see past episodes, upcoming guests. That's always good to do. If you're watching and have any comments, have any heckles, feel free to do it. Ritesh is looking at the comments. We can bring those up. And of course, as always, please go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. It means so much to us because even though we're old, we fancy ourselves influencers.
We want to be an influencer. Exactly.
We really do. Well, speaking of influencers, why don't we bring Mylena on?
Hi, guys.
How are you?
This is the... Wait, there it is.
There we go. Yeah, now that you've got Megan hanging out with you in West Hollywood, right?
Oh, no. I'm Team Kate.
Oh,
wow.
Actually, no, I'm Team Elizabeth, the OG. She's OG, man.
Gotta do it. So good to see you, man. It's been so long.
Too long, and I am loving this show. I can't stand it. I can't believe I've only been invited on the 19th episode.
I know.
What's up with that?
It's just wrong. It's just wrong. We had to get all the pasty white guys out of the way.
Right. Now we bring some diversity.
That's right. Now we get the people who actually do all the work.
Right.
Oh, so awesome to see you. So why don't you do a quick little intro, tell people, who you are, what you're doing now, and then we will turn back the wheels of time.
Okay. I'm Mylene. I'm Mylene Dane, as probably Kyle and Ritesh knew me from way back in the day.
It is true.
But I have since rebranded myself. I moved back
All about the branding.
That's right. I moved back to Los Angeles. Oh, gosh. In 2001. And I've been here. I'm really an LA local, and I'm back home. And I am now a super realtor. It's now hashtag Mylene my realtor.
I love it.
Yeah, I work for Sotheby's International Realty, selling real estate here in Los Angeles, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills. But, my license is for the state of California. So really anywhere.
Go anywhere. Yeah.
Right.
I have been watching the post that you put up of the properties you represent. And, you sort of live vicariously. You sort of go, one day when I've got rid of the kids, the mortgage, the house, the car, the college
That's-
bills, then maybe
Oh.
I'll be able to afford half of this.
Yeah, well, real estate porn, as I like to
Yeah.
call it. I
It's
mean, it's
amazing.
fun. The houses, those are not all the houses I represent. My firm represents them. There are other agents' listings as well, some of my listings. But it's just so fun. I never knew that, wow, this is so me. I love it. I love houses. I love helping matching. I'm basically a matchmaker now. I match people's desires to their housing, and I'm a matchmaker.
No, that's awesome.
Dreams come true.
Amazing. But
Well, that's
when
awesome.
you moved out there, you were, if I remember the last time we saw each other, way back, so long ago, and I was trying to find a
Yes.
picture of us. You were
You
running
came
a
over.
gym.
You came over, and I think you cooked dinner, didn't you?
I did. Because there were three very highly inebriated women who were hungry.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
Did you know those three women, Mylene?
Well, it was me, my roommate at the time, Rebecca, and it must have been like a gay guy or something. That was the three women.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ritesh.
Everything. Doing the cooking.
But you were running a gym at the time. I
Yes,
think, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Who'da thunk? I mean, really, who'da thunk? But I came out here. I was bored, working out with my trainer. And I looked around. He was selling it, and I was like, "Heck, why not?" I bought it.
Wow.
And and I had it for 12 years. And I started working out a lot. Got my personal trainer's license. And certification, and my body was slamming. I mean, not anymore, but back then it was, okay? And it was really a fantastic lifestyle. I mean, as opposed to having, conference calls with Chan and Kevin every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m., now I'm like training, supermodels and professional athletes. I mean, hello, right? It was awesome, and I grew my database. I have 12,000 emails in my database because of my experience with owning a gym, and it's really helped me tremendously with my real estate business. So it's been great. Now I know everybody. I know everybody in LA. I know everybody in West Hollywood. It's been really an experience. The worst financial investment ever.
I've made a few of those.
Let's not go there. That's not what this show is about. Let's not go there.
But money's not everything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's dial it back. So talk to us about what we love to hear is kind of the origin story. How did you discover the internet? I know you've been in sales for a while, but how did you discover the net?
And then how did you get to agency.com?
Yeah, very interesting story. Like, Kyle would never have hired me. Kevin did. But 100 years ago, kids, I started my working career in telecommunications. Way back in the day. Maybe Ritesh will remember this. If you all recall, those commercials, the side-by-side commercials where one guy's on AT&T and the other guy's on MCI, and then all the minutes, the cost of that long-distance call was rolling, And I worked for MCI, and this was before what they call Dial 1. Wherein there was people had a choice. People did not have a choice as to who their long distance carrier was.
Right.
Okay. And if you had to join an alternative phone company like MCI and save, 50% on your long distance calls, you had to dial an access number that was this long. It was like 18 digits. It was like the vehicle ID number of a car. Choose another long distance company. And then it sounded like that, right?
I remember it well.
Right. So then it was like the antitrust laws, blah, 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 blah. And that's when I started back like really 100 years ago. And then I worked with MCI, got promoted because I've got the gift of gab and got into sales because I was really like running the copier. I mean, I was just like making copies, and then I got promoted. I got recruited by AT&T. And when AT&T recruited me, I went into data networking. So it wasn't, MCI was all voice, and data networking was like, can I say cuss words here on this show? Oh, okay. All right. Well, data was the shit. Okay? So I went into data networking pre-internet. Okay. Wow. Like Ritesh, you'll be impressed. I could name the IP stack. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So anyway, and God's like, IP stack, what the fuck? Anyway. Well, you're like Mr. Creative God, you know?
Yeah, well, so, I have read an acronym or two.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
All right. Exactly. So then I got into data networking as a salesperson here in Los Angeles, selling data networks to big companies, okay? Mm-hmm. And this was back in the day when there was no internet. So everything was hardwired data circuits, okay? T1s, you know, fiber rings, stuff like that, okay? Virtual private networks. And then they promoted me to Chicago to run the data networking sales organization for the Midwest. So it was a big job.
Still at MCI?
AT&T, honey. AT&T was the gold standard when it came to data.
But you weren't at MCI. They were the competitor.
No, I got recruited. Yeah, I got recruited by AT&T to go into data.
Oh, and, I missed it.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. I'm a creative type.
Yeah, this is so boring. That's why. No, but you know, to be a woman in data, was an anomaly. And
well, also at AT&T, I mean, I remember working at AT&T, you know, back in the 95, and it was a completely male-dominated engineering culture.
Yep, absolutely. It was like being in a Ma Bell's lab, you know, and they were all wearing khaki pants.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and T-shirts like this. Okay? Right. In fact, I'm still wearing it. And the joke was the pocket protector.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
so that was my crowd. So I was the shit, okay, because I was a girl.
Yeah.
So then I ran the data networking sales organization in the Midwest, and then I got recruited by Cisco Systems.
Oh wow.
Okay. And so in AT&T, I was running sales teams for the Midwest. So I was driving all over like Oshkosh, you know, Wisconsin, Sheboygan, you know, in my Range Rover, right? Because
it was a glamorous life.
Oh, yeah, with the barns, you know, and the silos and the cornfields. Oh my God, I was like a fish out of water, and being a girl too, right? I was like, what am I doing here? What did I do in the previous life? It was freezing. I was fucking freezing. I'm like, I'm from the tropics, honestly. Anyway. I got recruited by Cisco Systems, okay? And then I was selling, oh God, this is getting worse. I was selling equipment. I was selling data networking boxes, basically boxes. Mm-hmm. But then my clients were like the Chicago Stock Exchange, the Merck, you know? So I was doing takeouts, what they call takeouts, where we would wholesale take out all their equipment and sell them millions and millions and millions of dollars of equipment, right? Mm-hmm. Because we had to guarantee 5.9 reliability. Ritesh would know that, right?
Yep.
Because the joke was, Mr. Customer, if your network goes down on you, so will I. That was my closing. That was my, you know, go-to closing line. So then
you were fitting in with the male-dominated
culture. That's right. That's right.
Why have I never heard this story?
How do you think I kept getting promoted and promoted? Okay.
I think, Kyle, this is going to be the best show we've ever done.
Be a little salty. I like it.
This was my technical prowess.
Yeah. It's good.
Skills. So anyway,
here you are. You're peddling Cisco gear everywhere.
Correct.
You're putting stuff out. You're guaranteeing 99.999% uptimes.
Correctamundo.
There you go.
So then I got recruited by Eagle River.
Oh, right? So that's how it happened.
Yes.
Who found you, and how did they find you?
Rosemary Hefner.
Hefner, yeah,
Yes.
I remember Rosemary.
Yeah, my first interview was with Rosemary, and then I interviewed with Kevin, and then I think I interviewed with Chan as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was it.
Because we
That
had
was
just
it.
bought
And you
Eagle
guys
River.
got me. Sorry.
So we had just bought Eagle River, right? Then you had just joined as we acquired.
It was
Eagle River, right?
gosh, I don't know.
What
What year was
99.
that?
In
Yeah,
98,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
97, 98, I think.
I don't even remember. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I really don't.
Our
Yeah.
memories are very fuzzy around those times. This is
Yeah.
why we do this, because
Yeah.
I guarantee we'll get about 10 emails after this one. They'll say, no, you've got your timing wrong, right?
I think it may have been 99, something like
I think
early
it's
99.
earlier.
I don't
Maybe
know.
earlier.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can't remember what I did yesterday. I mean, honestly.
No, it was before the year 2000.
I think it's the
before
age.
Y2K.
Yeah. I mean, when you add age and you add alcohol to that, forget about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, who are you guys?
Exactly.
You know?
Well, this all started over a gin and tonic. So, there you go.
And it will end with one.
Exactly. You think this is water?
What do you think? What do you think's in here?
So there you are. You're minding
I got my big gulp. Okay, going on.
Okay. So there you are. You're minding your own business over at Cisco. Eagle River comes calling. You interview. What made you join us?
The stock options. No, no. I just thought
there were stock options.
Oh,
wait.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Don't let him know. Don't hold him.
No, actually, you know what? It was because all of a sudden. Well, first of all, I was really like, I wanted something sexier. I mean, honestly, I was selling boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. I was like, if I'm the sexiest thing going on here, there's something wrong with this picture. Okay. I think that, and I mean, the internet was just really like exploding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I got to get in on this. I mean, I know it from the pipes and plumbing perspective.
Yeah.
But I needed to add more dimension, I thought, to my skill set as well. I mean, I was also very career conscious, and I was always in sales, and it was always sort of like towards the advancement of that. And I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity to get in with this company. It was right in Chicago. It's New York. Yeah.
Did you have a moment where you where you had an epiphany that the internet was going to be a big thing? I mean, because you were in telecom for a while. Like, what was that moment where you realized that that's something interesting is going on over there?
I was actually, even with AT&T, already knew it was already going to be big, because we were always in data, and right around when I was getting into when I was starting to leave AT&T, and they were showing how and AT&T was really huge on educating us. I mean, we would, the training was just outrageous. I mean, you go to like training, you go to AT&T school in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. Okay.
Wow.
And which, by the way, I have a side story because I almost burned that building down. But and they would keep us in this hotel, which was just for AT&T employees that went into training, and they had like it was like a museum, like Alexander Graham Bell's telephone was in there and shit like that. But anyway, I digress. But I knew they would give us these training classes, and they would show like, see this, and then one of the PowerPoint slides would be like banks of computers. See that? That is now the new Salesforce. That they won't need people anymore, and it was like really. And then when I went into Cisco, it was really big, because there everything was on the Cisco intranet. Okay.
Oh, so
like everything
you were experiencing.
Oh
it.
Yeah. And then with and then everything was starting to see like www. And everything was that, and certainly, so I already knew that this is like this is the new age back then. And then certainly once I got into agency, and I started to see the work that you guys were doing, and the incoming inquiries that fed into our sales lead process.
Yeah. Well,
It's
we'll talk
insane.
about that. So if you joined 98, 99, I mean, that was full on, it was sort of at the peak of its hype, right? It was pre us going public. It was,
Yeah, correct.
Kids were coming out of college asking for 150 grand and getting it, right?
And getting it, yeah.
And so talk about it from a sales perspective. Like you said, there was a bunch of inbound. Like I remember the very early days, you could pitch anything. If you could show up to the meeting, you'd win the business.
Right.
And by 99, it was starting to get decently competitive. So talk
Yes.
about, what was it like?
Well, I'll tell you, I've never been in a sales job, and I've been in sales all my life. Okay, so we're talking like a 30-year plus career, years, where the velocity of incoming inquiries for our services, I have never seen to this day, ever. Okay, so we couldn't keep up. We could not keep up.
Now I remember the amount of,
Yeah.
we just don't have time, or we don't have the people to do it.
We don't have the people to do it.
Yeah.
We ended up hiring a bunch of biz dev people.
Right.
Some who were great, really fantastic, a lot that were not, and we had to put them in far-flung places just to cover the geography, and so it was, and back then we weren't working from home, and I remember I had some of these reps, hey guys, my doggies, I had some of these guys that, were working on their own, and that just didn't work back then because our work was so collaborative.
Right.
Yeah. So there, people, Julie, I mean, man, she's like the Michael Jordan. I mean, I'm like, you know what, Julie, you're my goddess. She
was amazing. Absolutely.
She is the Michael Jordan, and I tell her, and I said, you know what, I am so blessed to have you, and I, as a manager, I would always say it's a hard thing to manage people. You don't manage them. You just let them go. It's like my relationship was Michael Jordan and his coach,
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was sort of the way I saw our dynamic.
What was her role then when you were working with her?
Oh, she was my biz dev girl in Chicago.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yes, but you had, if I remember correctly, Mylene, you had Julie in Chicago. There was Laura Greger in New York, I think, right? Was it Laura in New York?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Please, if you're watching,
it's all good. Look,
I'm old.
I'll probably get it all wrong, and then we're going to get emails.
There were
you were wrong.
There were a lot of superstars. There were a lot of superstars.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then Steve Norcia even joined us later.
Yes, out of New York.
From DV, he came to New York as well, I think.
And Chuck Copen out of the West.
Oh,
gosh,
there's a name.
Chuck was great. What was it? Now, did you work primarily out of Chicago, or didn't I kind of remember you being in New York as well? Were you doing both?
Correct. I lived in Chicago, but then, my husband lived there too, so I'd go to New York a lot.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Mylene, David Armano says hello. Hi, David.
Hey.
We tried to get him on the show with you, but he's getting us. I don't know, what was he doing, Carl?
I think he's getting his COVID shot. He's getting himself vaccinated, which
good for him.
He needs to, because he went through it. I mean,
I know.
Exactly. So I'm glad he's doing well. David, thanks for joining us. Wonderful. So there you go, Mylene. David actually.
Hi, David. Wow.
What was it like? What was talk about the culture? Like, what was the culture like in those days? Because you mentioned the collaborative thing. We've talked a lot about that there was a lot of that going on. But again, from the sales perspective, like, did you get to experience a lot of that? Well, talk about.
Our office is different. Like, was Chicago different from Boston to New York?
Definitely, New York was very New York. Aaron, right?
Sugarman.
Aaron Sugarman.
Yep.
Bless him. I love him.
Yeah.
I used to just love reading his emails, I remember, with all the lowercase.
Oh, yeah. And no punctuation.
That's right.
Yeah.
No
punctuation.
Right. actually followed that. I actually emulated that style once. Where was I? Oh, at Sotheby's. I sent my first email out. My manager called me into her office and she's like, "What's this? What is this?" Never again. Thank you, Aaron, for that. But anyway, but yeah, in New York was very different. Chicago was very much more conservative, for sure. For sure. New York felt very young.
It was. No, it was.
New York definitely, from what I recall, New York felt very young.
Very young.
Well, I was considered an adult there, so that should,
yeah.
I think Chicago was also a lot more disciplined in the approaches they had. They did a lot of frameworks and process stuff where we were just like, oh, what's this? Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, because I think Kevin definitely sort of, his instilled that sort of more, corporate
rigor.
Kind of, exactly. Yeah.
Because Dave Crumpus was, I think Dave Crumpus was based in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Remember Dave?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I think we need to.
You should see him now. He looks like Santa Claus.
Oh, does he? That's awesome.
Oh, we got to get him. Maybe we'll get him and Armano on together.
Well, him, Armano, Kevin, we should get them on, and
right? Yeah.
Maybe Elizabeth as well, because she came a little later. But remember, I don't know if you were still there when Elizabeth was there in creative. I think. Armano may know. David, you may want to put in the chat. I've forgotten Elizabeth's name, and I think she was in creative, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, but I think, Crunfus was there. He was trying to instill project management on us. I remember a call with him, and he said, I've read through the project plan. You're missing these 72 things. And I went, okay, can we only do 2 of those 72? Is that okay?
I mean, it's just so mind-boggling that, these websites that we built for them were like millions and millions and millions of dollars, even back then.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
Yeah.
And now you could use Wix.
Right.
Squarespace.
And you just knock it out. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Everything was handcrafted. It was all folk, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what were some of the do you remember any of the big deals you did or any of the big things you worked on where you're like, holy crap, this is something?
Yeah. I mean, I remember like going to Enron.
Oh, right. I remember that.
Wait, we did something with Enron?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Enron was fun.
Well, didn't we won that business, and then shortly after we won it, that's when they exploded.
All exploded. Yep.
And we're like, we still get to do the work. They're like,
we helped the crooks.
Yeah.
That was fun. I remember pitches a lot, because after we won the pitches, then it was like, you guys build this. Bye.
Oh, right.
So I what I recall are the pitches, like Compact in Houston. We went with Madeline Coover. Remember Madeline?
Maddie.
Maddie. Yes. Okay. I remember going to,
didn't Julie run the Goldman one for us? I think it was Julie you sent from Chicago to help us run the Goldman pitch.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
There was a big account in St. Louis. Remember Jennifer?
Maritz.
Wow,
yes. Okay. Now there was a story at Maritz. Okay, when we were still in the middle of pitching it, and somebody in our Chicago office sent a blistering, scathing email that was meant to be internal about us. Okay, complaining about something. And inadvertently sent it to Maritz. Okay? Wow. I was like, what?
We still got the work, though. We won it.
We did, honey. Talk about me whipping out the knee pads on that one. Okay? Honey, I think that was truly my crowning moment. Okay? Even Kevin clapped his hands on that one because that was a big deal, and I saved it out of that
was huge.
The toilet.
Wow.
So last week we had
that was it. That's the only good thing I did there.
No, come on. last week we had a story about that Maritz one where the creative who presented, remember this? He presented the ideas to the client. The client didn't like it. So he picked up the Mac monitor and threw it.
17-inch monitor and threw it at the client, or smashed
They
it.
Never came back to New York ever again.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
oh my
you didn't hear that one. So you saved it,
after
and we still screwed it up.
Yeah, after we won the business, we still figured out a way to...
That was the agent, the rep on that one was Jennifer Spreitzer. Remember her?
Oh,
Jennifer Spreitzer.
Yeah.
Yep. She's in Chicago still because I see her on my Facebook.
Healthcare now, I think, right?
I don't know. She's doing some sort of sales.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. She was
She's
good.
got a
She was
kid.
really
Yeah.
good.
She was hardworking girl. Anyway, so
was
that one
unique or innovative? You thought like, whoa! I don't think we'll ever be able to do it. I know we sold it, but
gosh, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't
Did
remember.
you work on the Granger stuff? I remember that pitch.
Granger, Motorola.
That's right. Yeah, that was another big.
I remember going to Amsterdam for one day. I mean, who does that? For a pitch. I forget which kind, and we didn't get it. It was awful. Oh, it sucked. It really sucked. That was the worst. Intel. Pitch. We didn't get that.
We didn't get
that.
Kyle, you were on that pitch, right? Well,
I was on that pitch. That was, I think, why we lost it. pretty sure. Oh, Kyle was on that one. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's right.
He's batting 1,000.
Yeah. Amazing.
Stop. No, you two are the big guns. I was basically the bean counter that worked the sales funnel and reported, you know what I mean? And
you are the farthest thing from a bean counter.
And I remember implementing Salesforce.com.
Wow.
To the biz dev people, so that we had because there was so much activity.
Yeah.
So a way for us to manage that sales process. Oh.
Yeah, I always wanted us. I always deeply believe you should just be able to keep it all in your head, and then
and don't tell anybody.
And then
that's your genius, Kyle. That's your genius.
Yeah, that's my genius. Yeah, and that was where Kevin Rowe and I, always butted heads. Was
right?
He would want to systematize it. I was like, blow it up.
Yeah. Well, that's why it was good. That's why it worked.
Exactly.
It was magic.
That balance was good. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so now you're Chicago. You're traveling all over the world. You're landing these big deals. Was there anything any big project that you sort of said, you know what, that was amazing, we did that?
I can't remember. I mean, probably to me, I just felt like the thing with Maritz was it like stuck in my head.
What was it about it that it made?
Well, because it was hopeless. It was hopeless. And we managed.
That email, was that blistering?
Oh, it was awful. I mean, we were already hanging by a thread before that, and that was just like kaboink, and I was like, what? Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? So whatever. And then I think it ended up billing like what, $10 million.
I remember it was
$8.5 million. Yeah.
Yeah, it was big. I mean, for a deal that was dead.
Yeah.
So I was very happy about that. I mean, that was embedded in my mind that, okay, I can retire now. I can smoke my cigarette and retire now. I don't smoke.
And how long were you with agency.com?
Wait, what happened? Wait. How long was I there? Gosh, I don't know. 2 years, 3 years?
3 years, I think. Yeah, it was 3 years.
Something like that. Not long.
Just
not that
after
long.
9/11, I think.
Yeah. That's what it was. 9/11 happened on. Wait, what happened? Do you hear the echo?
No.
Okay. 9/11 happened on a Tuesday, and I left Friday.
Oh wow.
But my leaving was already pre-planned before 9/11 happened.
Oh, okay.
But you were living in Chicago, so you had a place to go that was not New York. Yeah, that was pretty intense after 9/11.
Well, I remember it was a Tuesday morning, and I was getting ready to go into the office, and I was watching the Today Show while I was getting ready, which I always did. And Katie Couric said, "Oh, there's like a, plane ran into the Twin Towers." It's like, what? And I was telling, "Hey, Barry, take a look. Some idiot didn't know how to fly a plane and knocked into the building." Continue, go to work. And I go, "I got to go. I got my conference call in New York." I get to the office and I'm listening to the radio on my way on Lakeshore Drive to get to downtown. And it was then when the bodies were jumping off the buildings.
Wow.
And it was horrible. And then I get to the office, I sign on and like, how come no one's on this call? Like no one's in New York, not thinking it was happening also right
in
there.
New York, right.
Yeah. And then shortly after that, they then evacuated downtown Chicago because they were thinking it was just after the Pentagon was hit.
Oh,
and then they said they're going to go after landmark buildings like Sears Tower and stuff like that, the Wrigley building. So then they evacuated all of us. And then I was stuck in front of the TV for days, watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible.
No, it was just weeks of like watching TV. Yeah.
But nobody in our office. Nobody passed. Yeah.
Nobody.
No, yeah, we were very, very lucky.
Yeah.
We accounted for everyone.
Yeah, a couple of people knew people, and there were a number of close calls. People that were,
I think we were lucky because we were a creative agency, so most people didn't show up for work until 10 o'clock anyway. So, it was a blessing in disguise that day.
Yeah, right? I actually overslept that day, and my assistant called me and said, turn on the news. I'm like, well, what's going on? He goes, just turn on the news. Yeah. And it was like 4 hours later, I sort of came back into consciousness. I was like, wait, what's going on?
There was a group of us in the office. There was a group of us in the office. I think Kevin or there was a management meeting that was called that morning early because I remember getting to the office at 8 a.m. for that meeting. So we were watching it all from the office.
From the 50th floor, right?
From the 50th floor when it all started. So I remember vividly, we were in the conference room, somebody was presenting, and all of a sudden we felt a shake.
Oof.
And we didn't know what was going on. And then I think it was Aaron Sugarman looked out the window, and there was a bunch of paper just flying all over around us. And then somebody came into the conference room and said, "Guys, you got to come, you got to see this." And that's when we went up to the 50th floor. And that's when we saw the second plane. We watched it going.
You did?
Yeah. Wow. We were, for people that don't know, we were at 20 Exchange. So we were 5 or 6 blocks from the trade centers. And
we had to stay there. A lot of us had to stay in the building. We couldn't leave until the National Guard arrived around 2 o'clock.
Right.
Oh my God.
Then I remember walking out, and I think it was myself and Esther and a couple of others. A lot of people went walking over to the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, I was going to say you walked to Brooklyn over the Brooklyn Bridge. Right?
No, we didn't. We walked uptown to Chinatown.
Oh,
so we walked to somewhere in Chinatown. Esther, myself, I think Rosemary Hafner may have been with us. I think, or Marianne, one of the two. I can't remember. But there's a bunch of us who went the other way. But I remember just the dust, the absolute dust everywhere. And I can't tell you the other stuff I was walking over because it'll bring back too many bad memories. But it was a surreal day. Day. So but you had already planned to leave before that.
I had already planned to leave because I raised my hand for the layoffs.
Right. That was
and I said to Kevin, lay me off because I really want to go back home anyway. So I raised my hand and I said, I need to go back. I'm done living here. And
you wanted to go back to LA.
And the business was really getting bad, and I remember even before then, who was our chief financial officer, the guy with the muscles?
Oh, Tom
Lanzetta.
Tom
Lanzetta.
How can I forget Tom?
By the way, he still has the muscles.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So did his kids.
We had even changed the commission structure.
Yeah.
Because we needed to really count the pennies.
Yeah.
And so we even changed the commission structure so that it wasn't as generous, like in half. Okay. And that was we were just really counting the pennies and I said, you know what, lay me off. keep only the vital salespeople on, because I don't want the technical, the creatives. Those are like, that's what really, that's
the delivery.
who makes the babies.
Right.
Okay, they're the actual elves that make what we're selling. Okay, we're fat, we're fat. So I had raised my hand for that, and a bunch of other people did as well. And so I had already planned, because Barry and I were just going to drive back across country, and we had made a plan to go through all of the through Yosemite and Grand Canyon,
nice.
and do all of the national parks on the crisscrossing the country back to LA. And so we had already planned that. And then Tuesday 9/11 happened. It just so happened. And we were already packing up the house and all that business. And then Friday we left. And it was pretty amazing experience, because when we were driving back through the country, everybody was like raising their flags. Everybody had flags.
Wow, right.
I mean, it was a real spirit of nationalism and unity.
And togetherness. I remember that.
Yeah.
Even after, sometime, I think in 2002, as baseball started, people were going back to baseball, and everybody was with their flags, and everybody's singing the national anthem, and all this stuff. It was really,
it was a great feeling too,
Yeah.
but it was it was the united over like a real sense of grief that really changed the country.
It was in New York. New York is famous for you don't make eye contact, and I remember those 2 weeks after 9/11, everyone was making eye contact with everyone else, and it was just like checking in, like, are you okay? It was a really remarkable, because there was a calmness that came over New York, right?
Wow.
It was still the same amount of people, but there was just everything had kind of lowered in energy, and people were checking in with each other. It was quite remarkable.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. And so what did you do next? So you drove back, it sounds like you had a hell of a road trip.
Yeah.
And then you got back to LA. What did you do after? And was there anything that, sort of happened when you were doing this crazy internet thing that, you sort of carried forward with you as you did other things?
Yeah, I did. I mean, okay, so immediately after landing in LA, I was like, okay, I'm going to go look for a job. Mm-hmm. Right. And I immediately got hired by Sapient.
Oh.
Whoa. Wow.
Hated it. Truly hated it.
We could have told you that.
Yeah, we worked with them on GoldmanSachs.com. They did the back-end infrastructure stuff.
Hated it. Oh my God. The culture between agency and Sapient. Honey. I mean, truly. I mean, Dorkville.
A bunch of engineers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they
Dorkville. I mean, I was a dork, but that was like next level dork. Truly. Hated it. The only person I really liked there that I got on with was really Jerry. Okay. Greenberg.
Oh.
Wasn't it Jerry Greenberg, the co-CEO?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know many people at Sapient.
And the only reason he's the CEO. The only reason was because he was a foodie. He was still a foodie. Okay.
Wow. And this was in LA? Were they based in LA?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Boston.
Boston.
In Boston.
I thought they were in Boston because it was
Boston.
Sapient, Viant, Cambridge Technology Partners. They were all up in Boston, right?
Sapient, because he's like a Harvard guy, young guy. I mean, like young guy. Okay. Yeah. And he commuted by his own jet from Boston. Yeah, of course. Boston to Malibu. Okay. Which is where he lives.
Little commute.
Yeah,
of course. So, but he was great. He was really bright and was a real foodie, total foodie, like loved sushi and all this. And he would come to the office every now and then, and he would have all this food for the staff and whatnot. And that's the only reason really why I liked it there. But otherwise, it was the worst. So I left. I was like, fuck this, And that's when I was just like, I'm just going to work. And I told Barry, I said, you know what, Barry, I'm like been working all my life. It's your turn to bring home the bacon. Okay. I'm done. Right.
Oh, that's nice.
So all he did was like wake and bake. I'm like, hello.
But what did he bake?
Make some money here. So I said, I'm going to start working out and you can work. How's that? Okay. So I just started working out a lot, got a trainer, and then that's when I bought the gym.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually had a great lifestyle when I owned the gym. Why not? You just go in and work out.
Yeah.
Worked out with celebs.
Uh-huh.
Had to work. Oh, it was like working out 2-3 times a day. It was awesome. And
I've never experienced that in my life. As evidenced by this.
well, now it doesn't last. Okay, it doesn't last. So that's why I only go like this neck up, neck up.
Well, that's always my thing. Like, it takes
Yeah.
you a month to lose a pound and like 3 minutes to gain 10. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Well, my problem now at the moment is that the dryer, for some reason, is shrinking all my clothes. I need to get a new dryer.
Yeah, it's that damn dryer.
Yeah,
exactly.
we got a
In
dryer
fact,
issue as well.
Yeah.
why bother with clothes? Why bother with
Exactly,
clothes?
exactly.
Okay, just wear a sarong and just wear your dorky T-shirt like this. Okay,
Yeah, that's
And
pretty
then-
dorky. It's good.
and then just wear your sarong underneath, because then it's,
Love it. So there you are. You're in.
put it over your
in
lap.
West
You don't even
Hollywood.
need to tie it.
Yay! So you're in West Hollywood. You've got this
Yeah.
gym. Was there stuff that we did?
Oh, yes.
Locally or whatever at agency that you sort of said, hey,
Yeah, I need my own website. Damn it.
Ah,
Yeah.
there you go. Look at that.
So I got paid somebody. I said, the first thing I did was, the first thing, you obviously, forget business cards or anything that.
Yeah.
So I said, we need a website. And I was like, I was really critical. I was like, this interface sucks. The navigation just doesn't work.
You were working with the best, so
Right. And yeah, it's so fun. And so I did that, obviously. And it was so funny because with a gym, at least it was like a boutique gym, right? So it wasn't like a membership deal. So you need share of wallet. So when you don't get the traditional gym model is what do they call
it's
attrition?
a monthly fee. It's a subscription.
Yeah, so
model,
you pay. Let's say you pay $200 a month at Equinox.
Yeah.
And the best customer is the one that pays you that and never shows up.
Right.
Okay. Now my model didn't work that way. I need the customer to show up to make that money, because they didn't pay me by the year or the month. They paid me for each time they went, because they went to a private trainer, and I was like the pimp. I would get a percentage of what the personal trainer charged. We had like 800 some private training sessions a week, right?
Okay.
Wow.
But so I had to make auxiliary services. Like we had water, we had like, if you get to the gym and you forget your socks, so we sold socks, we sold, you know what I mean? So stuff like that. So then the other thing that I did was I had a car wash next to my gym, because LA is very car centric, and so while they're getting their workout, they can get their car washed, right? So I had like these Mexican guys who were there, right, to do the car wash, my hand wash, and so I was like, I wanted to explain the process. When somebody comes in and they want their car wash, you give them a ticket, you give the ticket, right? So I was like, how do I explain this? So I built a PowerPoint deck.
Okay.
All right. Sit down, everybody. I'm going to present.
And then and it was like this, because it's not like they had laptops or anything. So I was like, like cue cards, right? And not only that, I had it in Spanish, right?
Wow. That's awesome.
So your presentation skills from pitching,
Right. Okay.
They carried
Right.
on.
handy
And
for
then
the power.
and then I started collecting email addresses.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the previous gym owner that I got it from, this guy, his name was Todd Tramp. Okay.
It's LA.
Okay. So like big muscle guy, he would show up in his red convertible Rolls Royce with his Versace shirts, and paid all of his employees under the table,
Wow.
cash, collected everything in cash, never accepted credit cards. It was the most unprofessional organization.
But
Never
he
paid
had a
his.
Rolls Royce, but he had a Rolls
Honey.
Royce.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So,
Right.
so
This
I.
is Hollywood.
So I put in the newsletter. Oh, I'd started a newsletter. So I started doing newsletters and collecting emails. They didn't even have liability forms when they signed. Like, oh my God. I was like, oh my
Wow.
God. These people. Yeah, it was so crazy. So I had liability forms. I mean, I sort of, got it together. Of course, I never made any money after that, but,
Yeah.
that's a different story.
So, Mylene, Jason Crawford is on.
Ah!
Yeah, I know, isn't it? I was like,
remember
holy
that name.
smokes, Jason.
Wow. Hey,
Jason.
Jason.
What?
Oh
There's
my
an
gosh.
absolute
Hi.
name from the past.
Can I see this? Hi, Jason. Can I do hi, Jason? Is that your kid? Is that your kid? Oh my
Must
God.
be, right?
Everybody has kids.
You can have mine if you want. The youngest is in San Diego. I can send him to you.
Wow. And Kyle, you've got kids too, right?
I do. They're 21 now. 21-year-old twin boys. I know.
Oh my God.
We're old. We're old.
Oh my
It's
God.
happened. I know.
Well, you want to see my kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, okay?
I've
Hang
seen
on.
them. I've hung out with your kids.
I'll be right back. I'll bring
Okay.
one of them.
All right.
They're not morning people, so hang on.
I told you this would be a different type of interview, right, Kyle? I had forgotten how much energy Mylene had, even back then.
I know. Oh,
There you go.
a spitting
There you
image.
There.
So
There you
cute.
go.
Do you see the likeness?
Yes,
I was
perfect.
going to say a spitting image.
Perfect.
Hi, baby.
Very,
Yeah.
very cute.
I have two boys.
Nice.
This is one. They're both hairy,
Okay, good.
but that's it. Those
We
are
have
my
a-
kids.
We have a dog named Champ, but we got him from a rescue, of course, and I'm pretty sure he never was a champ at anything. I'm pretty sure he's got participation certificates, so I think he was misnamed.
That's hilarious.
So now the gym. So you've got this gym. You make it. You're 12. I remember popping in once with a friend of mine,
oh yeah,
hanging out at the gym, and that was a photo I
Right.
was trying to find. We interviewed you about Botox, if you remember.
oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because I was pitching it at the time.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
That's right. Yeah, and I said if you ever need somebody that shows
The
the before and
spokesperson.
after effects,
Yeah.
and I said, they need to develop an app. This was way back in the day, where you could develop apps where you could like go up the wrinkles
Yeah,
and
yeah.
on your phone. You got a picture and and they should call it Photox, right?
We should have done it.
We should have.
We
We
should
would have
have done
been.
We could have been players.
We
Could
could have
have
been.
players.
We could have been.
So,
Well-
so what happened with the gym?
Well, you know what? I was tired of not making any money.
Okay.
I mean, you break even on a good day
Yeah.
because rent was so high. I was paying $20,000 a month,
Oh my God.
for 12 years. And how do I do that when I make $15 a pop?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No wonder I had to have a car wash. I had to do this. I had to that, and it was crazy. And then
Always a hustle.
And then when my valet guy wouldn't show up because whatever, it's miércoles,
Yeah.
miércoles, so whatever, I'm out. I'm the one valeting the cars, I'm like, what? Why am I doing this? And I happened to be wearing high heels that day. My feet were bleeding out in the parking lot. I'm like, fuck this. So
It sounds like such a glamorous business. I'm surprised you left it.
so then I just, it was fun. I had sex with a lot of the trainers.
Yeah.
Ah, well,
There you go.
Sorry, am I allowed to say that on this show?
Well,
But
it's too
anyway.
late. You've
we
said
don't.
it
We
anyway.
haven't figured out our standards yet. So I
Yeah,
think
we haven't.
we're just taking them in this interview.
I think you've now just set the bar for us to create.
Right. This
something.
is like, what, this show, it's like, I'm sorry, I so digress because I know we're supposed to talk about the early days of the web, but I kind of went all over the map here. So so I just said, enough of this, enough. I want to make some real coin now. Like when I was in agency, and then that's when I got into real estate. I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway,
And
Awesome.
so, yes, you're right. It is all about the Web 1.0. So what do you see as difference between then and now? Some of the things that we were really working hard on creating, Kyle and I talk about this quite a lot, that we now just take for granted completely on our mobile devices, right?
yeah. Totally. I remember what really remember was, who was our guy in London that was a big proponent of mobile?
David Eastman.
David Eastman.
Yes.
David
How prescient. I mean,
Yep.
talk about, I now see, knowing what we know now, I even back then when he kept talking mobile, I did not think that it would be this big, as so integ. I mean, I knew it was the future and all, but I just thought that, okay, because our phones were like this small.
Well, yeah,
you
and you had to do everything on a keypad. You couldn't really imagine what was coming.
I think the iPhone, and then when the iPhone opened up to outside apps, that's when I think it really went nuclear. You know what I mean?
It was crazy. Yeah, that the mobile group and the group doing interactive television.
TV.
And interactive television, went away as a thing, but like all of our TVs are now interactive. Like
correct.
Like that interactivity is now just part of
Yeah.
But we did some of that crazy stuff, which was way ahead of anybody.
Yeah.
I know some user interfaces that we built in Flash to people at Ogilvy. Now the youngsters, young creators, they'll all be like, "Oh, look at this cool thing." I'm like, "Wait, let me show you this one." And they go, "Wow, that's amazing." I said, we built that in 1997.
But I think the mobile, the fact that we were talking about it at agency back then, I thought was pretty groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But even if you look at some of the stuff that David talks about now around user interface design and usability, that they're still struggling. People still struggle with, and we were doing that back in '98. I mean, it's even more difficult to do then than it is now, right?
I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's really how you interact with what you see in front of you. And sure, you need the technical underpinnings to make that all work, but you need to be able, like, even now I look at websites and I'm like, God, this is so poorly designed, I can't, like, so that's why I think creative is so big. It's just, it's equal footing. It really is. You can't have one without the other.
I complain, I tweet about Microsoft Teams and how crappy that user interface is.
It's
daily.
The worst.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Corporate IT is foisting it upon me.
We use it at Sotheby's. We have to. We have a meeting every Wednesday, and we use Teams, and it's the worst.
It's awful.
Yeah.
And this week's sponsor, Microsoft.
Oh, hi, Bill.
Oh, man. Mylena, this has been awesome. It is so great to reconnect with you.
I love it here.
Wow, you look so well.
Yeah,
I just wish I could have contributed more to the topic.
You did.
Oh, please. Listen, we thought websites were exciting. It's having sex with the trainers where it's really at.
There you go. There you go. Right? This is amazing. Mylena, we're so glad to see you. So good to see that you're doing
I'm so glad you invited me. I was like, why are they inviting me? I have nothing to contribute here.
Come on.
Thank you. I had so much fun. I had so much fun. I was actually thinking, oh God, I have to get up so early. I have to put some makeup on. Talk to these guys. I'm like, I don't think they even really like me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't, but we thought it'd be good to have you
on.
So
awesome. You guys made my day. You really did.
This is so really good. Did. And I don't know if Jason and David are still on, but if you guys are still on, great to see you guys. Thank you. We're going to get Amon on next, and we should get Jason on next as well. So
terrific.
Look out for those
emails. Wait, how can I watch this show? Where do I go?
Go to youshoulda.com.
You shoulda, woulda, coulda.com?
You shoulda, woulda, coulda.com.
Just there you go.
Shoulda.com. You should. I see it there.
And then
I love it. I love it.
We've got Oliver Chan, and we've got Andy and
you
Amy. We got the co-founders.
Oh my God, fun!
So fun. It's really fun.
What are you gonna title this episode?
The crazy one.
That shit crazy.
Yeah.
That shit crazy. What not to be? Do not let your kids watch this.
Don't grow up like this. I like it.
It'll be NSFW.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
Hey,
Mylena,
that
thank you.
Is that
Thank
it?
you. That's
We're
it.
done.
I want to stay more.
I know. We
gotta go to our
always
day
say,
jobs.
and by the way, we say that on every show. We could go on for another hour.
I
So
know.
Okay, you guys, if you ever need a house in LA,
we'll
Okay.
let you know.
Great.
All right.
and
Bye.
if they need websites, I know who to call.
Welcome.
See ya.
See you,
Bye,
Mylene.
guys.
Bye.